I decided that I wanted to do something to help the community, to help the real estate investors and managers. I found some issues that maybe, well, some things that we could do better,
Okay.
So areas that that needed improvement. So I started the Metropolia. Is a great website. It's a real estate hub. So there's many things that we do there. The first is the calendar. Every event that is happening in Quebec, I try to find and put it on the website so that everything that is happening, you don't have to look for it everywhere. Like I do the job, I put it there. So you've got all the events in one place.
Hello, and welcome back to the Very Real Estate Effect podcast, a show dedicated to real estate investing right here in Quebec. And today, I am very honored and pleased to have a fellow investor from Quebec, Philippe Pouliot, who's an entrepreneur and the founder of Metropolia.ca, a website that gathers resources for real estate investors. And we'll talk about it in a bit. So hi, Philippe. Welcome to the show.
Hi, Axel. How are you?
I'm very good. I'm excited to have you on today. Before we jump into it, I just want to remind everyone, thank you for sharing this episode with a friend. Send it to someone around you who you think could benefit from this conversation, especially this episode, because you'll see that Philip has gathered a lot of resources that are interesting for real estate investor. So it's going to be extremely helpful. And don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. And if you have any questions, I'm in the process of doing my bookings and setting up the episodes between now till Christmas. So if you have some questions or people that you think should be on the show, send them to me. I'll be glad to have them on. So, Philip, before we get into the website that you've created, Metropolia.ca, I want to know a little bit more about you. So how in the world did you get started in real estate investing?
It was many years ago, actually, about 20 years ago that I started. If I may, just before I start on that, website is Metropolia.ca. I totally agree with you, Axel. If you're listening to this podcast, and you'll see there's a lot of good content that you're gonna be hearing, tools and tricks that can benefits you as an investor or you're a friend. So please share this podcast with everybody. I'm sure they can find a good way to use what I'm about to talk about. So yes, I started real estate investing about 20 years ago. I actually started with my brother. So it was a family business inspired by my father and my grandfather. They used to own buildings on the South Shore of Montreal.
Okay.
So I started, like many people, with the triplex that I bought with my brother. I lived in one of the apartments. I was there for a few years, bought other properties, condos, other triplexes as well, and slowly got the hang of it. I think it's the best way to invest. If you want to have something that is tangible, real estate is definitely the way to go. And if you look at the ROI, it's always very, very interesting.
Yeah. So you started with your brother. What was your first property?
So it was a triplex in Sainte-Thérèse. So North Shore. I'm actually a guy. I grew up on the South Shore of Montreal. I moved quite a bit. I actually lived in Toronto for a little while.
Okay.
That's why I'm able to speak English. Before leaving to Toronto, my English was not that good.
Okay.
So throughout the years, it improved, and so I lived in the triplex, which, by the way, is a great way to start in real estate investing. Instead of buying a house, buying a condo, buying somewhere you live. This is not if you're buying a condo or a house, it's not an investment, it's a liability.
Mm-hmm.
Rich Dad Poor Dad from Robert Kiyosaki. If you've never read that book, you know, go buy one now. So I started there, and then after a few years, I bought my brother. He decided to invest elsewhere, so he bought another property. I bought him out, and then I bought other properties also on the South Shore. So
Yeah.
and slowly, surely, you know, I was buying here and there, selling. I I was not like a real like hardcore real estate investor. I
Mm-hmm.
was doing this more in a passive way, in a sense that, you know, I was doing my day-to-day job. I was investing once in a while, like every couple of years or something. I'd find something interesting, I'd buy it, hold it. If I see an opportunity to sell, I'd sell. I
Okay.
did some flip, and about 2 years ago or so, I started investing in land. I
Okay.
got really interested. I was always curious about uh, developing land, you know, finding ways to increase the value. You know, it's like a project with like old buildings, that you find ways to give it value by renovations and stuff like that. There's the same thing you can do with a piece of land.
Absolutely.
So you split it, you change the usage of the land. So I had a lot of fun with that. Yes.
Okay, so 2 years ago, you got more into land. Can you kind of walk us through like maybe your first transaction? What did you do? What was the intent? Did it work out the way you thought it would? And do you still have it now?
Okay. So it was at first it was definitely a learning curve. It's
Mhm.
like everything else, right? So it was a COVID period. Prices were going up like crazy.
Yeah.
So what I was used to see like didn't make sense anymore. So at first I would visit properties, would make offers, and the real estate agents would occasionally tell us, you know, this is very low. It's gonna go, it's it's gonna go at a higher price, but it's like this, it's not worth that much. And yet, yes, it would go as at a higher price. So after a while, you know, got a hang of it. Okay, so we got a bit like higher. So I had to adjust. Got great deals. Some of so the first property was in Longueuil.
Okay.
It was a house. It was fairly old, good location, nothing crazy, but the property next door was a sixplex.
Hmm.
So looking at the land, at dimensions, it was the exact same thing.
Okay.
So whatever was on the property next door could be done here as well. So we were ready for this acquisition. We already had connections. It's really important to go out there and talk to people. And networking is so important. I think it's grossly underrated.
For
The
some
fact you can,
people.
yes, yes,
Yeah.
for some people,
Yeah.
but so for this transaction, it was really easy. Like we we purchased the house. Actually, we got a purchase order accepted, turned around, and within a couple of hours, it was already sold.
Nice. Okay, so you wholesaled it.
Yeah,
Okay. But okay, so a few questions. You say the lot size next door had a sixplex, but you're buying a house. Was it more or less the same area?
yeah.
Oh, okay.
Well, yeah. In Language, you know, like there's I don't know. I think it's about like 600 zone. So in this particular area, like you were allowed to build a sixplex, and you know, definitely like next door, like the lot beside it, it was a six.
Mhm.
So it was easy. We worked with well, often we work with Arpenteur, what's the
A land surveyor.
a land surveyor? Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Sorry, some words are just like
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
used to say in English. But otherwise, because we would go through the all reglementation of the city, we were able to come up with the to implement the property on the lot, see how it would be, how big it would be,
Mhm.
and where the parkings and locations and everything, could take everything into consideration to have an idea, because sometimes throughout the years, you know, the laws, regulations change. So you got to make sure that you adapt, and that whatever was done before can actually really be done again today.
Exactly. That sixplex that was approved next door, like you would qualify as well.
Yes,
Mhm.
yes, because we did our homework. Yes,
Yeah. And so you said you turned around and then you sold the promise to purchase. In
yes.
between, did you
I
get a
I
site approval?
Well, we didn't. Okay, so we got an agreement because we were holding the rights. We not the property, but we
Mhm.
had the rights. We didn't flip the purchase order. The sorry, the
Promise to purchase?
promise to purchase. Okay, PP. Okay.
Yeah.
So we actually did the transaction. We bought it, and then
Okay.
a few days after, we went back to notary once it was published and sold it again.
And sold it again. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So you didn't develop the sixplex
No,
yourself? No.
no.
Okay.
So we put everything in place to have it like done,
Mhm.
and then we sold it.
Did you make a good margin on it?
Yes.
Yes. Good for you. And then so I imagine that after that you went to prospect the entire street.
Yeah, well, we were very active. So a lot of door knocking. It's also very surprising how much you can find on Realtor or Centris or Metrpolia and all these websites. So
Mhm.
I call it like the low-hanging fruits,
Yeah.
because it's easy when you're able to see the opportunity and it's already for sale.
Mhm.
Sometimes, when you do the door to door, you have to knock at a lot of doors to
Yeah.
get a yes, right? But it's a very nice way to do it, and often you get great deals out of door knocking.
Oh
Uh,
yeah, and you build relationships because sometimes people say no, no, but or maybe next year. It's like, okay, well, is it okay if I call you back in 3 months and in 6 months? And then sometimes you plant a seed, but it's only 2 years later that you actually make a transaction.
exactly, and it's there's nothing wrong with asking questions. For instance, if a person, let's say you're looking for a plex. Maybe the person you're talking to doesn't want to sell it now, but probably they know other people that
Like,
have also plexes
yeah,
and they're interested in selling, or they're fed up with XYZ situation,
yeah,
So
yeah.
that's where
That
you can come into action and help them out.
you raise a very good point, and that's to everyone listening. I want to share something. When you talk to people in your prospecting, if you're doing door knocking, when they answer, there's two questions you should always follow up. Okay, you don't want to sell 123 Main Street, but do you have any other properties you would consider selling? Oh, well, actually, I own another one that I'm tired of the tenants and this and that. The second question is, do you know anyone who would like to sell? And you'd be surprised the number of times they say, actually, my neighbor across the street last week, he said, he wanted to move. So then people will give you almost a referral. They'll give you a lead. And so I guess it must have happened to you, Philip.
Oh yeah, definitely. Actually, one of the door knocking situation that we talked about, in the past, I was just riding my bike in my area, and I saw this couple. They were, working on the property, cutting the grass, planting flowers, and all that. And I talked to them. I stopped, and it was a big piece of property. Like it was about 30,000 square feet. So I stopped by, started chatting, and eventually I popped the question. Is there any chance, like in the near future, that you'd be willing to sell? So at first, no, but a couple of years down the road, we made a deal.
Yeah.
So yeah, you never know. It's just asking is it's the first key. Actually, if you never ask, it's always gonna be a no.
Exactly. You got to take a chance.
Exactly. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, totally agree.
So what happened after that transaction? Like you said you were interested in land. Did you find some other ones to flip?
Yes. So we were on a roll. So we did a lot of properties like that. So it was mainly like Longueuil, Chambly, South Shore of Montreal, right?
Yeah.
So find other properties that had that had two lots, but one property was sitting on one lot, so the other one was vacant. So it was to be purchased as a whole.
Mm-hmm.
So we buy that and resell it separately. So that was very lucrative for a while, and it was good timing because everything was for the pandemic. Everything was very fast, popping in and out. It was a quick, good, quick transactions, and then the government started raising the interest, so interest rates started going up.
Yeah.
We saw a shift in the market. It's still a good market, mind you. It's just getting the financial covered.
The financing is a lot more difficult.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
It's actually, it's not difficult to get financing. It's difficult to get financing up to where you want it,
Yeah.
right?
And where we got used to in the COVID years, because you could get like 80%. So.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
So we played our cards right. I think slowed down a little bit, to see what was going on with the market. So we have two land that are remaining that it's gonna be sold in November.
Mm-hmm.
That's great. Looking for further opportunities, and so needless to say, like the interest rate were going up. There's a Chat GPT also that was coming more and more popular. What is that like in artificial intelligence? I was really curious, so I took a step back and see like how things are going to be moving in which direction. I'm still actively looking for other properties for land. I'd like to find bigger projects to do multi, maybe like 24, 30, 50, maybe plus, who knows?
Yeah.
And but yeah, so eventually the well, since I pulled back a little bit from the mark and the Chat GPT was coming more and more popular, I got interested in finding out what's this artificial intelligence all about. So I looked it up. I actually work with Chat GPT almost every day. It's a great tool.
Yeah.
It's not it is going to, like, artificial intelligence is going to replace some jobs,
A lot.
but it's not gonna. I think it's always, at least for a few years, it's always gonna need somebody to supervise. So it's gonna be a great tool. It is already a great tool
Mm-hmm.
to be more productive.
It's a fabulous tool. It's just that mainstream society hasn't learned how to use it yet.
Yeah, it's like internet.
Yeah.
When it came out, right?
Mm-hmm.
First, it was crazy, or like before we used to calculate everything on a piece of paper.
Yeah, and then we had Excel.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. So I just want to shift the conversation a little bit. So, okay, with AI, and then because I want to transition to you starting the site Metropolia.
Yeah. So yes, with as I was mentioning, ChatGPT, artificial intelligence. I got really interested in that. So I looked up. I did some research, find some tools that were very interesting for the real estate investors and property managers.
Hmm.
And also at the same time, I was talking earlier about networking. So I I kind of identified some issues that I was living. Like
Hmm.
I'd been a victim of events that I wanted to go, and for some reason I didn't remember where I saw it, or I
Yeah.
couldn't find it again on Facebook, or which website was I on.
We've all been in that situation where we see something like, oh, this would be great. Okay, I should go. And then 3 days later, you're like, wait, what date was it? Where was it? I forgot.
Exactly,
Hmm.
exactly. So I decided that I wanted to do something to help the community, to help the real estate investors and managers. So I I found some issues that maybe, well, some things that we could do better, you know.
Okay.
So uh, areas that that needed improvement. So I started the Metropolia. Metropolia is a great website. It's a real estate hub.
Hmm.
So there's many things that we do there. The first is the calendar. So every event uh, that is happening in Quebec, I try to find and put it on the website so that everything that is happening, you don't have to look for it everywhere. Like I do the job, I put it there. So you've got all the events in one place. It can be sorted by you can actually see it on a map. So if you're living in Quebec City, well, maybe the events that are going on in Montreal is not something that you're really interested, because you don't want
Too
to
far.
you
It's
don't
too far.
feel
You're
like
not going to go
driving
for
there.
the night.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Some do, and really, like, more power to them. Wow, I'm very impressed by people that drive like a few hours to go to an event or training. It's great to see that.
Hmm.
So yeah, I put everything on an agenda that you can go and visit every day, and you can actually, there's a function that you click on it and you push it directly in your calendar. So there's
You
no
save
excuse
it.
anymore.
Yeah,
Exactly.
exactly.
It's
Nice.
saved. Yeah.
That's a really good idea, man. I mean, I think you're really solving a problem for people. And when both and I were first in contact, I went to see the website Metropolia.ca, and there's plenty of other things that we're going to discuss, but just the calendar is a super good idea, and I highly encourage everyone to go see it.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I think it's going to be a game changer. So it's so easy to use, as opposed to finding a post somewhere on Facebook, on I don't know where, or the event section, or it's some are there, some are not there. Anyways,
Yeah.
it's easier. It's more clear. A great tool. Yeah,
Hmm.
I think people are
So,
are
but the calendar of event on Metropolia is only part of what you're offering in terms of resources. So, for all the real estate investors that are listening right now, what else can they find on your site?
Okay. So I got another section. It's called tools. In the tools, you can find a Facebook group that is good to be part of. So you can find deals, tricks, exchange knowledge. So there's that. There's also a podcast section. Very
Yay!
exactly. Yeah. So this way you're on the road, you're going from one property to the other, or one meeting to the other. And while you're driving, you can still keep you can keep up. You can stay up to date what's going on. And it's a great way to do sort of a training,
Yeah.
while we're driving. It's a great tool. And also I have digital tools. So when you start in real estate investment, especially for like the new people, like if you buy your first property or you haven't started yet, to find all the information, the tools that you should be using to simplify your life. It's hard, unless you talk to someone and someone actually like sits down and tell you should get this and that and this and that. Well, there's hardly a way to find out. Time will help, but I try to accelerate that. So I list a bunch of tools like Ziplex. Ziplex is going to give you like
the average rent for that area.
The average rent for the area, but it also tells you, if it's a renovated apartment, if the hydro is paid by the landlord or our pets allowance. So this way you can pinpoint more. Okay, this is the project that I have right now. It's my rents are this much. If I renovate, I see that in the area, I can maybe rent it $400 more.
Yeah.
Okay, so at first it may not look like buying this property is an opportunity, but because you can turn it into a better deal, by doing some renovation, the transformation that you're going to be able to do is going to give you more money. So it's a great tool. So Ziplex, GLR also is a good one, or Mon Prospecteur. So like to find properties, compare pricing and all that.
And off-market deals with Mon Prospecteur. So on the website Metropolia.ca, you also list other websites and tools that are helpful in prospecting, in assessing properties, and so on. Like I use Ziplex every week almost, and so I understand where you're coming from.
Yeah. So it's a great it's a great way to see what's available out there. So yeah. Besides that, there's one that I like, Trusty. Because it's important to have good tenants. So therefore, to have a good verification of your tenants before you actually decide to, okay, let's lease it to them.
Yeah.
So Trusty is the only software that's going to give you ratings on the capability of payment.
Can you, for those who don't know Trusty, can you just briefly explain exactly what the platform does?
Okay, so it's Trusty is it's a Quebec based company software. So it's made here in Quebec, in Montreal actually. So great company. They do pre-rental checks. So they verify your future tenants if they are a good candidate. So they will check the credit. They will check the history with the previous landlords. They check everything. You got to do a good background check. So this way that when you decide to go forward with them, you can have the peace of mind.
Yeah,
it's really important to see if there's any ongoing or past cause at the TAL, Tribunal Administratif du Logement. So this is a must. It's something you want to check, because once you have somebody living in your apartment, you want to make sure that it's going to be nice and quiet for them, for your other tenants, and for you as well.
And I just want to clarify for everyone who's listening, like all those websites and tools that Philippe has listed, we're not affiliated to them. They're just there because, and correct me if I'm wrong, because Philippe thinks it's a good idea as a real estate investor, because in his experience, it's helped him. So we're not here to promote them. We're just saying what we've used and how it might, if it's useful for us, maybe it's useful for you. Who knows? So, but just wanted to clarify that.
Yeah. So there's also VentStore. There's a simulator to calculate the opportunity of buying a Plex or another. So there's for people out there that wants to do maybe a bit of marketing also for their project. There's a how's it called? Agen and Synthesia. It's now possible to clone yourself, so that you yeah, I know.
Well, okay, what in 1 minute? What do you mean by that?
Well, you can clone your voice, you can
Oh,
clone yourself, okay, and respond. So basically, like for Airbnb people, if you want to do like a training on how to use the spot, for instance, or how does the alarm works or something like that, so you can have a QR code, they scan it, and you have this video. But maybe you're not really comfortable in front of a video, so yeah, of a camera, so you can have uh, a clone
yeah,
or an avatar.
an avatar. I was gonna say.
Yeah, but it's possible to have like really a clone of yourself. So
Okay,
that's pretty special.
I'll go check it out.
Yeah. Also to write text,
Mhm.
ChatGPT is a great tool for that. For a property descriptions and stuff like that. So definitely check it out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you mentioned it, but I still want to rephrase. You also have a directory of all the Quebec-based podcasts for real estate, and of course, the Real Estate Effect is listed because we're amongst the two that I know of. The other one is Terry's show, Terry Shower, my great friend and colleague. Shout out to her. And then there's a whole bunch of French ones. So, but in English, we're some of the only ones.
Yeah, that's correct. I have another English one is in Ontario.
Okay.
So it's good for it's exposure for them here in Quebec, but also for like across the country, right? Because once I have some events that, right now I'm concentrating on Quebec. Eventually, I think it would be nice to go like all across Canada. So some events already are listed for Calgary or somewhere in BC and stuff like that. So these guys in Ontario, it's right next door.
Yeah,
our neighbors, right?
exactly.
So it's, Your Life, Your Term show. Great podcast as well. Once you're done with going through the Real Estate Effect podcast, maybe it's something you want to check out as well.
Good idea. I like it, man. Thank you, Philip. So again, your website is Metropolia.ca. We'll put it in the show notes. Yeah, .ca. And I'm sorry because I think at the beginning I said Metropolis, which has nothing to do with that. So it's Metropolia with an A at the end .ca.
Yeah, but it's all right. Metropolis is it's a Superman city, right?
Yeah,
so
it's a good analogy.
We're the city next door.
Yeah, exactly. We'll put it in the show notes, and I highly encourage to everyone who's listening to come and see it. Put it in your bookmarks, and then once a month or frequently, go check what kind of events are around you. Because actually, I found out on your calendar that there is an event next week, really close to my house in Verdun, for land at one of the bars here at Benelux. And I was like, oh, I'll go. So I put it in my calendar, so I can actually attest that it was very useful and it worked.
I will see you there.
Yeah, good stuff, man. Perfect. So
there's one more tool that we didn't talk about. It's called Talia.
Yes.
Talia is an assistant, virtual assistant, we'll call it, trained on the TAL, the Tribunal Administratif du Logement. So she answers the questions that you may have regarding relationships, tenants / landlords.
That's such a good idea, man.
So basically like a chatbot that is trained on the Code Civil, the rights and obligations of tenants and landlords, procedures of the TAL, so that you can chat with Talia for a low cost, and she helps you sort out and make better decisions with your management
That's gold. Just that is such a fantastic tool. And so did you upload like all the jurisprudence and the cases from the TAL, and then Talia learned, and then now she can answer questions, or in 1 minute, how does it work?
The jurisprudence, actually, it's a lot of information.
Yeah.
So I actually don't have the jurisprudence
Okay.
downloaded in Talia. We have again the procedures and like so it it's a tool so that when you're not sure what to do with XYZ situation, you can ask her. And one of the the first one of the first thing that she will often say is to talk to the person. You know, try to negotiate.
Yeah.
First thing first, like something happens, and I think this is valid for any aspect of your life. Let's try to understand and find a solution, a common ground
Yeah.
from day one.
You mean let's talk to each other before we go to
Let's
court?
talk.
Yeah, let's talk.
I know it's weird. It's a completely revolutionary concept. It's gonna
Let's
change the
talk to
world.
each other.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
You know, if that doesn't work, then you know you can go for the next step. You know,
Yeah.
so you gotta like take down everything that's happening. Make notes of it.
Mhm.
Send a letter to the tenants explaining what's happening, what you expect from them, and that you know consequences may follow. So
Yeah.
you gotta. But the first thing is definitely you know talk to each other. This Talia is there as a support, and you know if things don't work out, then, you know you can always talk to a professional. A lawyer.
Mhm. Or someone else. All right. So Philippe, if people want to know more about you, what's the best way to reach out?
You can contact me directly on the website in the contact section, Metropolia.ca. Any question? If you have events also in your area, you see that it's not listed there, please reach out. You know, we want to be inclusive. We want to make sure that all is covered so that we can better help the real estate industry.
Mhm.
So if there's any suggestions, please reach out. I'm always very happy to discuss and chat with real estate investors.
Sounds good, man. Thank you very much for your participation today, Philippe. I'm very happy that we're sharing this tool, because I think it can really help the real estate investor community out there. And it's by doing, I was going to say, podcasts and events and spreading the good word, that there's going to be more and more traction. And the good thing is that the more people go, the more people will want to put their events, and so on. And so it creates a snowball, and I hope it goes far. So thank you very much for your participation today.
Thank you very much, Axel. I appreciate. Thanks for the invitation.
Okay, pleasure. And to everyone listening, once again, go check it out, Metropolia.ca. And as usual, keep researching your market, keep making offers. And again, definitely share this episode with a friend. And if you have any questions, let me know. I'll answer them between now and the next few weeks. So thank you very much. And I'll talk to you next week. Ciao.
Bye. Thanks.